Hi, it's Mary. Welcome to the Paper Turtle. Today I am doing a craft along, and this is something really fun that I saw somebody do recently. And again, sorry, don't remember who it was. I'm sure other people have done this. Several people have probably done it, but I had not done this before. So when I saw this person do it, I thought, oh, I have that. I'm going to do that. And what you need to do this little project, you don't need it, but if you have one of these, this is a die of a Viewmaster reel. This one is older. I bought it quite a while ago. I do not know if maybe the packaging might be a little bit different now, might be the same. I don't know. There may be other people that make this other than Sizzix and Tim Holtz. I don't know. Check into it if you don't have one of these. They're really fun, and they're pretty versatile, even though I haven't used mine a whole lot. I found something new to do with it. Don't turn my video off if you don't have one of those, because there's other ways that you can do this. What I did, just to see if there was another way that you can do this. And of course there is. There's always other ways to do things. Now this is a little crude. It's not exactly spaced right or anything, but it's something to practice and play with. I just cut 2 circles out of a piece of cardstock, and I took a punch. There we go. I took a punch and I just punched the squares around it. Now you can do this with anything. You can make this circle bigger. I use this punch, which is 3/4 inch, simply because it's the punch I had on my desk. You can use, I have a heart punch. I thought of using the heart punch. Just kind of look around and see what you have. If you don't have any punches that would work for in a circle like this, draw something. Draw it with your pencil and a ruler or whatever, and cut it out with an X-Acto knife. There's ways you can do it. So don't turn off the video. What am I doing here? Don't turn off the video just because you don't have one of these. There's ways to do the same project without one of those. I happen to have one. If you have one, it works great. And what we're making, this is a poor example, but I'm showing you anyway. The one that we make is going to be a better example, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But we're making these little Viewmaster things. We are going to attach them with a brad into a journal so that you can turn and see the pictures. So it may just be in your journal. It may work out better for you if you have a bigger circle and you have bigger squares or hearts or circles or whatever punch you want to use to go around it. You may like that better than this because these are really small. So, having said all of that, keep watching to see, how we made this and how this one's going to come out. And just keep thinking about how you can accomplish this without the die, because you can do it. I know you can. I have faith in you. So what I did, I actually used cards, actual cardstock. Hold on, I'll show you. That I have for making cards. I have this whole stack of them. And I'm actually going to pull out another one of those green ones because I messed that one up and I'm going to have to do another one. I'm not going to do it now, but oh no, do I have another green one? I must have a green one. Well, you know what? It doesn't have to be the same color. So I'm just going to pull out a different color. They don't have to be the same. This is cardstock to make cards. I'm using this because it's convenient. I can fold it in half and cut both of them at the same time. It's a good weight. And I have a whole pile of it that I will never use up to make cards. And as you can see, It works perfectly on there. So that's what I use to cut these. You can use a manila envelope. You can use a piece of cardstock. You can use a book page. You can use whatever you want. That's just happened to be what I use. It doesn't have to be solid. It can be, like I said, it can be book paper. It can be whatever. So, tip number 1. When you do this, you have to make sure. Now, I cut 2 of these at the same time. Now I've messed it up again. I cut 2 of these at the same time. There. So that they're all lined up. So if you have the die, cut 2 at the same time. This particular die, they go together a certain way. And when I did this one, I wasn't paying attention. And now I can't line them back up. So, tip number 1. After you cut your thing out, open it up like this, flip that over, and mark the insides. These are going to be the inside, and when you put them together, they line up like that. Because if you, like, if this is one inside and this is going to be another inside, when I go like this, they're never going to line up. So make sure, line them up, mark your insides, and then just to make sure you did it right, line them up again. Okay, so this is the side we're going to glue on, this side and this side, because I marked them with the necks. That's tip number 1, learning from my mistakes. Tip number 2, you're going to need 24 tiny little pictures. They can be whatever you want. When I did this one, I was thinking like a woodland nature theme. So I have, there's little animals, there's a deer, there's a bear, a couple of insects, a couple of birds, there's a duck, an owl, and some flowers. So whatever your theme might be, just find little pictures in that theme. Might be, I don't know, maybe you're doing a beachy theme and you want little shells and fish and starfish and things like that. This one I'm going to do, I've got wildflowers. I have a few butterflies and a ladybug, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use those. But I'm going to do this one in wildflowers. For these, what I used was this. Where is it? Oh. This particular flower book. These have great pictures in them, and they're small. They're small enough that you can punch and get. I punched these in no time. This one took me a little bit longer because I had to hunt down the pictures of the animals. But this one took me no time because I had this book. So if you have a good book with little pictures in it, doesn't matter what they are, whatever is going with whatever you want to make. And I just want to show you this other book that I have. This is an awesome book. I have a few of these, 2 to cut out of and 1 to keep because I love the book so much. And look at the I get these at thrift stores. They're everywhere. They're like in every thrift store. Look at the cover. It has this cute little chipmunk on it. This is going to make an awesome journal cover when I ever get to that. But I wanted to show you this book simply because there's so many pictures in this book. If you don't have one of these, run out to your nearest thrift store and find one. It's got a section of mammals. Most of my mammals are cut out already, but it's got mammals. It's got a big section on birds. All different kinds of birds. All different sizes. They're so pretty. You can see how much I've used this book. It's got reptiles, if you're into that. It's got fish, if you're into that. It's got mollusks, and there's some really pretty shells in here. There's a section on insects. I think I've already cut all the bees out. It had bees and butterflies and dragonflies and, well, scorpions and spiders too. Then it has, let's see, trees. So if you're doing botanical, it's got a big section on wildflowers. So again, another good source for the small sizes, or if you want to fussy cut the whole flower for tags and things. Look at how much is in here. This is all wildflowers, all of this. It's huge. I think there's as much, if not more, wildflowers in here than there is in this little book. Then they have a section on non-flowering plants, good for like an herbal journal or a botanical, ferns. I mean, just this whole book. Mushrooms, every size and color of mushroom. So this book is a gem. This is like, for fussy cutting, this is the best book to have. I just want to let you know that. Doesn't have anything to do with the project we're working on. It's just, except that you can get pictures out of it. So, okay, the project. Oh, before I get to the project, I wanted to show you one more thing. Just because I ran across this when I was looking for pictures. I told you about this book that I got these pictures out of. Well, I have several of these. I just pick them up when I see them. And this is another one that you see often. And one of the ones that I grabbed off my shelf is this one, which I didn't realize it, but evidently my mother gave me this book. Because as I'm flipping through it, I see her handwriting. I know that's my mother's handwriting. I know my mother's handwriting just right off the top of my head. She used this book and she wrote down where she saw these wildflowers. Now, I don't think this was her book originally because there's an inscription in the front that I do not know who these people are. And it's written to Mom and Pop. And I know those aren't my brothers and sisters, so I know this book was not originally my mother's. But her handwriting is in here. My parents took a trip across the United States after they retired. And it looks as though she took this book with her on that trip and wrote where she found the wildflowers. But also in here are some pressed flowers. I do not know if these were my mother's pressed flowers or if these were somebody else's. But look at that. I didn't even know these were in here. Isn't that awesome? When my mother gave me this book quite a while ago, I just, put it on my shelf. Okay, good. Another flower book. And so today, when I went to use it, I saw that she made these notes in it. And I'm like, well, okay, I need to find a way. There's more. I don't know where they are, but I need to find a way to use that. Now, my mother is still with me. It's not like she's gone, but she's 83 years old and people don't live forever. But how cool is this? That this is her handwriting where she saw these flowers and she dated it, which is when they went across the country. South Dakota and Wyoming, she saw these sunflowers. Isn't that awesome? So just a little, I don't know, little tidbit just to tell you a little story. Now we're going to get to crafting. Okay. What I'm using, when I punched these little squares out, I used this punch, which is 3/4 of an inch. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's a half. Let me see. Use my other ruler. Yeah, it's 3/4 of an inch. So if you have this die, 3/4 inch square punch works perfectly to punch out your things. If you don't have a 3/4 inch punch, use your scissors. It's not a necessity. It's not a big deal. I am using a Zig two-way, I'm trying to think, it says squeeze and roll, but they have different tips. And this one is the pen tip. Lots of glue on it. As you can see, it looks like like a ballpoint pen. And so the glue comes out very thin. Or you could always use your art glitter glue. I'm sure that would work just as well. This is really sticky. Okay, so what I'm doing, and this can be very tedious and will be very boring on the video. So I hope you have something that you are doing. If it's not this, maybe it's something else. Because, like I said, this can get a little bit boring. And I don't want to bore you, but I want to show you how this comes out and how it looks, and tell you the little tips that I picked up. So what I'm doing now is where this thing overlaps and shows through on the windows, I'm just clipping it. And what's going to happen is, even if there's only a tiny bit of the square to glue on, it's okay, because you're going to be putting the two pieces together and that will hold it all in. So you don't have to worry too much about what am I saying? How much you have to glue. I don't know. My speaking is not well at the moment. Because you know why? Because I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. And I can't do that. It's one or the other. Either think or talk. You can't do both. So I glued this one on here. Getting back to it. I'm here. I'm with you. I'm going to go opposite just because it gets really sticky. When I was doing the other one, what I did, and you don't have to be this precise or this exact, I'm just kind of anal like that, I guess. What I did was I did like a mammal, then a mammal, a bird, then a bird, a flower, then a flower, which it does, you don't have to do that. You just do it however they show up. So that's all you do. Then you flip it over and you make sure that it's centered in your window there, and you just glue all your pictures on. Pretty simple, right? The first one that I made, it took me a bit longer because, well, it was the first time I was doing it, and you know, the first time you do something, you're experimenting, you're trying, you're figuring it out. And I made a couple mistakes. The second little thing that I put, I glued it on the wrong side. That was stupid. But hey, that happens. So that first one, because I didn't mark my glue sides, and it doesn't line up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo. I'm going to make another one. So I'm going to cut 2 more of the reels, line them up with the ones that I already have, and make new ones. Then that way I'm not wasting those, and I'll end up with 2 of them. At some point. I don't know when I'll do that, because that means I have to find 24 more little tiny pictures of animals and things, and that was that was hard enough to do the first time. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do animals on one side and flowers on the other side or something. That might work. You don't have to have the same thing on both sides of your wheel. I'll show you. kind of wish I had finished that one to be able to show it to you in a book. But when I'm done with this one, you'll see what it's going to look like in the book. It's kind of cute. I did get a little excited when I saw this one being made. I was like, oh, 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 I want to do that. That's so cute. These are like the perfect size flowers. Aren't they pretty in there? Oh my gosh, I really like this one. Do you ever get excited about your projects? I get excited about my little projects, like this kind of stuff. I don't know why. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. About here. We'll do this one. And I know, like I said, this is tedious. It's boring, so I hope that you are doing something while I'm working my way through this. I don't know how to speed up the videos. I don't know how to do that, so I can't do that for you. Maybe you can fast forward if you want to. Maybe you can just pretend this is like an ASMR and you're just crafting away. All right, what I'm trying to do is work out the colors so that I'm not putting like blue right next to the blue. I don't know if I have enough different colors to really do that. Let me see. How about this one? That one's pretty. Or I could stick a butterfly in there. I'll stick the butterfly in there. Yellow or orange? We'll do the orange. I'm almost out of glue in this pen, so I might have to. I do have another one in my drawer. I always have backup supply. And this will get sticky, especially if you use this glue. It gets very sticky. I don't know how important it is to trim these. I imagine you could put your next one in there so it doesn't, so it covers it instead of clipping it. I don't know. Oh, I clipped that one too much. That's okay. It works. Now, if you wanted to, which I didn't think about before, but if you wanted to ink this up, you're going to want to do it before you, either before you glue the pictures down or before you glue the two sides together. So I might do that. Just to, yeah, you would probably want to glue, or ink around your squares before you start gluing, I think. Just because, you're going to get the, if you do it now, after you've glued these in here, you're going to get the ink on your pictures. If that's the look that you want, that's good. Go for that. I don't know. I'm undecided if I want to do that or just leave it without inking. What do you think? Ink or no ink? I don't know. For this one, I might go no ink. I might ink around the outside, but probably not there. Let me see. I need, I think, pink. Now, I imagine that you could decorate these up however you want to. This particular one will be, I don't know, probably a little bit on the plainer side, just because I'm a plainer crafter. Now, if you'll notice, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little bit of glue there. I'm not going to fret about that because once that dries, I have a little glue eraser I can erase that off of. I'm going to wait until all of this is dry first. All right, so I'm going to set this aside to dry and do this side. Before I do, I'm going to just double check one more time that I put my X's in the right place. I know that I did, but I just want to double check and make sure because it's something that I'm kind of, because I messed it up the first time, I want to make sure, there we go, that I did it right this time. So that is the right way. So now I can glue onto this one. I'll try to do this a little bit more quickly. I'm a slow crafter. I don't know how about you. What do? Are you slow or are you quick? Quick. I watch Pam at the Paper Outpost. You watch her? Well, she's a quick one. She just goes through the stuff so fast. I don't know how many times she did it before she does it on camera, but man, she's quick. I mean, she can do a video in 20 minutes. I can't do that. I don't know if I've ever done a 20-minute video. Maybe a flip through, but not a crafting. I'm just not that quick. And it takes me months to complete a whole journal. It really does. It takes me a long time. Well, you see with the giveaway journal I've been working on forever and ever and ever. I can't help it. It's just, I'm just slow. Well, and plus I don't come in here and work all day, every day. I think I would get bored if I did this for hours at a time every day. I think I would. I think after a while I'd have to say, okay, I need a break. We're getting there. Now you'll notice I'm working on wax paper. And I decided to do that because the first one that I did, I glued something on the wrong side. I glued it on this side. Yeah, I know. And so every time that I would turn it over, it would then stick to the paper I was working on. And so I decided that I needed something under it so it wouldn't stick. And then once I used the wax paper, I was like, okay, well that works really well. Right, what color am I going for? Pink. So that's why I'm using the wax paper, because it does get sticky and you don't want everything sticking to a piece of paper. And if you notice, I don't know if I said this before, I'm going kind of across. That's because I'm allowing that to dry just a little bit before I glue one right next to it. If you're going really quickly, it's not going to make any difference anyway, but I just thought in my head that was a good way to do it. I could be wrong. And maybe you won't be as picky with your pictures either. I'm kind of picky with the pictures. I don't know why. It probably doesn't really make that much of a difference. Just what I have decided to do. I know, I'm trying to hurry a little bit faster here. You still with me? Let me know in the comments below if you're still with me. I know this one's not as exciting or interesting, but the finished result will be. I think you'll like it. I like it. Let me see. I'm gonna put a butterfly right here. Now you can put little surprises on here. You could put words. What else could you put in these? Pictures, words. I don't know. What would be fun in here in one of these? You tell me. What else could you put in here? Like a little shapes like hearts, or oh, how about stamps? You could stamp like on book paper or something and put that in. That would work, right? I think that might be kind of fun. Let me see. That blue one. Oh, not that one. That looks pretty. Yeah, I don't know. Little stamps would be cute. What other little tiny things do we have that would look good on here? All right, we got one more. Let's do this one. Oh, this orange one. I'd love to hear what ideas you have for yours. Okay, so there we have our two wheels. Now they're going to go together. Let me move these. Well, I punched a lot of flowers. Enough to do another whole thingy. All right. And now you have to line these up again. There we go. Like that. And we're going to glue them together. I think I'm going to use just a glue stick. I want to make sure that I get the edges. That's the most important part that you need to have glued together. They're still a little sticky from the from the other glue, so that's good. Then you have to match them up again. I do a lot of matching. Like this. Yep. Oh, it's so cute. Very cute. Very cute. I like it a lot. Now, what I'm going to do, because I told you that some of this glue that you get on here you can get off. Gosh, I got a lot more on there than I thought. I'm very sticky. If you don't have one of these, get yourself one. It is an adhesive eraser. It gets kind of icky on the edges, but you just pull it off. And it erases sticky. Those little glue bits that you get on there. It just erases them right off. And it works really, really well. I use this when I run little pieces and letters and stuff through my Xyron. And then after you stick it down, there's that little sticky residue on it. You just use this and it gets that sticky residue right off. So if you're a paper crafter, you need one of these. Sometimes you see posts online where people ask, well, I'm just starting out, what do I absolutely need? This. This is what you need. Okay, so there's that. I think that I am going to ink it a little bit, just because, I don't know, I kind of like it inked, but I'm going to ink it in pink. This pink, because I like pink. I'm not going to, try not to do it like too much. You can do it as much or as little as you want, of course. I'm not going to do the pictures. I'm not going to do the squares because I'm afraid I would get too much ink on the pictures. You have to be real careful when you're using these sponges. They soak up a lot of ink, and it can get carried away. So it's a very light touch. If you're going to try one for the first time, start out with a very light touch. Don't go rubbing it on there real hard, because you'll end up with ink where you don't want it. Let's do a little bit in the middle. I don't think you're going to see that, but okay. Nice. I like it. Next step is for it to go in your journal. Oh, here's our journal. I've been working in this. So you're probably going to see things in here that weren't in here the last time you saw this. But that's okay. I'll do a full flip through when it's all done. We're getting really close. Really close. I'm so happy about that. All right. I think I'm going to put it maybe in the middle somewhere because, or maybe not. I got to find the right page here. How far do I want it to stick out? Let me look in the back. I feel like I want, here, how about that? Okay. So, if I put it there when I close the book, well, it's not going to be out any further than this lace, so I guess that'll work. I'm going to put it right here. And you put it in with a brad. So I've got these brads. And I think I will use this green one right here. It's a little sparkly. You can see that? It's kind of pretty. I'm just going to mark where I want the hole. And I'm going to use my little hole piercer here. I don't know if that's big enough. I'm going to stick the brad in there just to open the hole up a little bit. All right. Okay. So, you just put your brad in there. Now, now that I'm looking at this, let me show you. Here's the back side of it on the other page. Now, what you're going to want to do probably, it's up to you, is put something over that to cover that up, but loosely, because you don't want to hold it down because you want to be able to spin your, well, this doesn't move while you spin it, so I guess you could put something there to hold it down. So you have on this page this cute little spinny wheel. Isn't that cute? And it even shows through on the other page. And I think that we will, well, you probably didn't see that. It shows through on the other page. I think we probably will put something there to cover that. Some kind of, maybe a pocket to put there. I don't know if I'll do it at this moment. Is it too busy? The thing is, if you put something in there, it's going to catch on that. So you'll want this flat. So not so much a pocket. I'm not going to put it there right now. Maybe I'll just cut out a flower and put that there. I don't know. I'll play with that a little bit and see. But there's your thing. And so when your book is closed, it sticks out a little bit, which, as you know, I like things sticking out. It's there somewhere. There it is. And then when you go to the page, it's just a fun little thing. You can do it from here, anywhere. It's kind of fun. And then if you want to decorate this around it, you can. Or you can leave this as a page just to journal on. Whatever you want to do with it. I like it. I think it came out good. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you do this, if you have done it before, and how yours came out. Maybe you did yours a little differently. Maybe you don't have the die and you created your own. I'd love to see that. I think that would be even more creative than using a die. So let me know. And if you have a YouTube channel or something, let me know what your channel is. If you've shown it on your channel, I'd love to go see it. And that's what we got for today. So thank you for watching, and I hope you are having a great day. And don't forget to subscribe and like and do all of that other stuff that we ask you to do. Thanks. We'll see you. Bye.